Good, it's your boy ZARR, all rights reserved. Shout out to Commenter Nation, greatest nation since United Nations. We in the building once again. Everybody hit that like button. Let's go. Subscribe if you have not already. Hit the bell so notifications update normally. Let's do this. Check out. Now, I got to tell you guys this. Yesterday, I received an anonymous tip from somebody. I'm not putting their name out unless they want me to. So they're doing research into this factor. They're saying that it was poison involved. They're alleging this. Now, I have no proof myself other than the picture with his lips looking different colors. Just, it looked off. So that was our only understanding of it. So many people called on to it and said this earlier. You can go back and check it in comments. You can go back and check as I'm interacting on live with people saying it. This person is saying without a shadow of a doubt. Not only this, Jenny, they're saying you did it and they know how. Remember that video where she's painting his face before he goes? She's rubbing something on his face. They're saying they are very certain that it allegedly contained poison. And that is why no one understood why he was in that situation when he was supposed to back up or whatever, get out the car, however it went. Now, I have other people saying it was the so-called uncle that did it, and he did it before he got out the car and ran, right before the alleged robbery went down. Now, this is interesting because I also have someone claiming the body types of the people in there do not fit the men they arrested. One of them are saying one of the people that did it was a woman. Now that's crazy because we can't see their face. So there's no way without a shadow of a doubt to say, hey, that was that guy. Like they have masks on. You can't really tell. When the story first broke and came out, they were saying that Diedrich went down the street, got a mask and came back. It was a lot of different stories going around. But looking at it objectively, people are saying, yo, he was poisoned way before. Number one, they're saying that Jenny actually poisoned him through what she was rubbing on his face. We still to this day don't have no clue. Yeah, it seems like she does makeup and things, but why was she putting makeup on his face and it wasn't covering his tattoos? Nobody could tell me that. It doesn't make sense. What are you putting makeup on his face for to go buy a bike? It made no sense. And they're saying she was the one that did it to set it up, to get it going. Not only that, one of the suspects are still looking for her to answer questions. Remember that. So it's not cut and dry as people want to make it seem. We already have things in lieu, and there's still investigations going on around it. Trust me. And silence. But these are one of the things they're saying what she rubbed on his face was mixed with some type. And they're saying if it was an organic poison, it would take time to get in the bloodstream. It would have worked out perfect timing for the situation to go down. Now, I looked up a few poisons, looked at certain botanical things. They're telling me a botanist. They're talking to people. They're really trying to find out how she did that or why. So they're saying, what was she rubbing on his face? Why were you putting makeup on his face to go out and his tattoos are still visible? It made no sense. And I too can understand that point of view objectively. Now, they're alleging these things and they're saying they're going hard to get evidence of it. They're saying she visually did it and showed everyone her rubbing stuff on his face, some type of ritualistic thing or something like that. They're saying she was showing people that she was setting them up for death. I don't know this to be true. They're alleging this. We have no evidence on this, but this is a very interesting theory nonetheless. Were you doing this, Jenny? Is that why you've been so mad over here? Is that why you had such a hissy fit when I first was mentioning the theories? Now, this is freedom of speech, honestly and obviously. As you know, she likes to attack videos. This is going to have your name in it too, as well as I did this, not your real name, because let me tell you something. You have no dibs on an online name. How can someone own an online name without them putting things together with it? And I'm saying this out of respect to the point of us doing an investigation. Do you know how many, to date, do you know how many people attack me on this channel with no evidence, just saying things like, oh, you're saying this and that. And no one's, now catch this, no one's coming out asking them to answer the questions. No one. They don't want to answer the questions. And when people do that, you're guilty. You're guilty to some extent. You're That's not a guilty personality. That let me attack what he's saying. You're looking for the people that were involved in the deceased nature of my baby father, alleged baby father. But you have a problem with me trying to figure it out, but not with figuring out who did it. That's crazy. These men didn't do it alone. You're telling me they had some internal clock that knew when he was going to the store. How would they know? Who would have talked to them? And that's where we get back to the suspect. The reason you want to rush these men to death and everything is because one of them alleged they spoke with you, aka they know you. How would you know the people there that did it? Like, you know everybody, but you don't know these people. These men never had contact with you. That's the very eerie part. And then how they came up after he's gone. And the last things he said to you, we posted them. He was not, that doesn't look like that's someone I want to father my child. Or, excuse me, I said father. Mother, be the mother of a child I'm having. It doesn't seem like that. Then they allege you were having relationships with family members around him. Is that not true? You need to start answering some things. You hate to answer questions, but you love to call people liars and say they're this and that and this and that. Look, if I've been lying from the jump of this series, there would have been an issue. And yeah, it's not mentioning XXX in it, the titles anymore, because it's about people around him. It's not so much about him. It's about people around him that are living their best life once he's gone. He's gone. Now you're living your best life. You didn't work jobs at all when he was here like that gave you that money. Now he's gone. You got all the money. Come on now. This stuff is so obvious. Listen, I'm also conversating with people around the backside that say you took some type of deal after he's gone. Isn't it funny how now you get recognition when he's gone? Before he was gone, you were just no one. He didn't even see you as privy to be in his lives or have you so much in his business. But now you're all up in his business when he's gone. That doesn't seem, y'all. I also got people that were at that funeral that said you were acting funny. Said you were doing funny style stuff. This is all people that were around you. If any of those people are still there, hit the comments. Let it be known in the comments what you feel. You are allowed to speak your opinion. Don't ever think you can't speak your opinion. The problem with me is I'm asking questions. They don't want to be questioned. They want it to not be questions around it, like, oh, these men did it. You can't just wish men to death until they're proven guilty. And you openly are trying to push men to death over something that is not even proven they did. Wonder why? Is it because they can connect you? If they get the chance, they can show your contention in the situation and that you put them up to some scenario. This is what Michael Boatwright was doing. He was calling you out by name. By name. That's crazy, because we have yet to see anybody who was close to the situation call someone out by name. He happens to call you out by name. Now you're trying to assist in their death. You weren't even assisting to figure out who did it when he first happened. You were just going on like life was la-di-da-di-da. Come on, man. If they don't see something funny with that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. If that's not funny style to y'all. If that's okay to y'all. If that's normal, that your baby father, something happens. And, if they were involved in something and something was going on, at this time, you would openly admit it, right? But no, you want to push them to a scenario where they get executed. And then you're okay with the father just hurt over his son gone, feeling that way when you know who was really involved. When you know. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is not the type of woman I feel good about my kid being in her hands at all. And wherever he might be, God bless his soul, I'm pretty sure that was a worry on his mind. You fathering a child by him and doing with whatever. Not only have you not done that, but you haven't showed evidence that without a shadow of a doubt we could say, oh, that's his kid. Like, showing it would shut everyone down, even me on the subject. But you have yet to do it. And by this time now, I wouldn't even believe it. I would have showed that first and foremost. That's a thing you show up front. Like, it's not something you hide. Why would you hide that evidence? It makes no sense. None of it makes sense. And then they want to take DNA from everyone else but the body that they're putting in the ground. I have my theories on that. But someone's claiming that what you were allegedly doing was rubbing something on his face that shouldn't have been on his face. You mixed it in. Is that true? Is there any truth to that? Because I already know you've been threatening the other women that want to come forward. That's already on the record. Undeniable. So what is the whole big deal? Because they want to come out and let the mother meet their children that have his DNA? What's the problem? Can someone answer that for me in the comments below? What's the problem with that? Let me know what you think. I got more coming up. All rights reserved in the building. The greatest nation since United Nations in the building. We already here, yo. We already here doing our thing. Been doing our thing, yo. We ride our own wave. We don't, listen, we ride the wave our own selves. I don't need to include anybody. I don't need to do it with a bunch of people. If I, like, look, I talk to a bunch of people behind the scenes that remain anonymous. And I respect that. And they can always reach out to me. You know how to get a hold of me. All rights reserved.